Hello and welcome to our webinar Talk to Ukraine, a global conversation dedicated to the Ukrainian tech industry, its resilience and future development. My name is Katerina Tkachenko. I'm the head of PR and communication at IT Ukraine Association, and today I have a pleasure to moderate our discussion organized together with Porto Tech Hub. Today we will discuss the perspectives of cooperation and business opportunities for Ukrainian tech in Portugal. After this long month of the war, Ukrainian tech keeps holding down the economic front line, delivering to our customers, scaling globally, and entering new markets. Under new circumstances, Ukrainian tech has managed to grow by 10%. And now, when we are thinking of recovery of our country based on digitalization and emerging technologies, we can only look one way, and that is towards transforming challenges into opportunities. So let's move forward to our speakers. The first one, Luis Miguel Silva, President Porto Tech Hub, Head of People Interaction and Brand at FBM. Hello, Luis.
Hello, Katrina. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. The next one, Oля Paramonova, Vice President EdTech at Sigma Software.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very pleased to be here and with these beautiful people.
Thank you so much. And last but not the least, Andriy Terlicha, Chief Delivery Officer at Intellias.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much. So our webinar will be actually a live conversation. So we have some key topics to discuss and to share our experience. Please feel free to take the mic and talk about the issues that is more relevant for you and your company and your personal perspective. We couldn't have been resilient without the support of our foreign friends and partners here, so that the Portuguese community hosted our people and teams throughout the country. And according to our recent research, Do IT Like Ukraine, almost 10% of Ukrainian IT companies has relocated to Portugal now, so that the country become one of 5 main destinations for business relocation. Actually, both of our tech industries have gained new opportunities for knowledge sharing and expertise sharing, new collaboration, new projects, and new idea that we could develop together on global scale. So I guess that many benefits we could have also regarding the synergy of our tech talents. And let's talk about these benefits. First, my question regarding the Ukrainian IT companies, what they can offer to Portuguese market, and from the other side, which tech areas are most demanding now? How much perspective we have to do business in Portugal? And it could be very interesting to hear our speakers from different perspectives, from the perspective of Ukrainian companies and from the perspective of Portuguese partners. So who could and want to start, please?
I can start. Yeah, I wanted to actually start not from directly answering your question, Katerina, but also saying that we are so much happy and want to share our appreciation to Portugal and all the people living here, doing business here. And here are a lot of different nations, not just Portuguese, but everyone has been very welcoming. And I think that all of the speakers here at this event will admit it, that it's a wonderful place for us to have less stress these days, also do business and continue going. And it's important that we continue being thankful for that, and for all the efforts that Portugal is doing to help Ukraine. And speaking about Ukrainian companies, technical companies, what we can offer, what is market demanding, I want to say that first of all, Ukrainian companies are known for talent, for expertise, for professionalism, and this is what we are bringing to the planet, to the world, and of course to Portugal, because as you said, it's like a lot of companies are now residing here. And Sigma is actually now headquartered in Portugal. And now, because we've been given such a heavy survival course and training, we have toned muscles. And we have a big motivation. So it's like we've been growing fast. Now it's even faster. So it's we we will do our the best we can to get going. And being here in Portugal, I think it's opening a wonder box, because I actually didn't know even last year that Ukrainians are the second largest international community here. It was to my surprise, and I keep on discovering more and more interesting facts about Portugal. And this year was visiting Web Summit. It's a wonderful ecosystem for technological growth, and government is doing and launching a lot of initiatives. There are more than 2,000 registered startups here, more than 150 official registered incubators, and overall the worth of the startup ecosystem is huge. Let me just check the number. I've been doing some notes. It's over 21 billion. It's amazing. And Portugal is top 5 destination points for expats, and the way the visa process for founders is organized. There is a startup visa, and also there is a special taxation regime for founders for early stage startups. It all shows a commitment from the government to continue investing in support of the ecosystem and supporting talent, supporting founders and small business. So it's amazing to observe how this all is going. And I will not steal all the other points from other speakers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right that the Portugal is like the heaven for startups, as we said before. Yes, so we have all the opportunities and special vibes for developing this startup ecosystem. So I move forward to our speakers, and I'm sure that they have their own perspective to share with us today.
Yeah, if it's fine, Katarina, then I'll continue.
Yes, please.
On my side. So first of all, I would like to echo the appreciation words from Olga and say a big thank you to Portugal for hosting many of Ukrainians who had to move out of Ukraine this year. It's really great, and I can only confirm from my side that we feel very warm, like at home in Portugal, and feel really welcome by Portuguese people. And before actually I proceed with answering the question, I would like to give a little bit more context about Intellias, the company I work for, just for you to get a little bit better understanding of what we do at Intellias. So the company is 20 years old, and currently we have over 3,200 people on board. The mission of the company is to breathe life into great ideas of our customers. So we're a service business, and we're here to help our clients to transform their ideas to real products with the power of digital technology. We have over 130 customers right now worldwide, mainly in the United States and as well in Europe, in the DACH region specifically. And our business is focused around a number of domains like automotive, transportation, logistics, financial services, retail, and telecom. Originally, Intellias comes from Ukraine, but now the company is somewhat more global, and we have engineering centers in 11 countries worldwide. That includes a number of countries in Europe, as well as India, Colombia, and also US, Germany, and UK, which are our key customer market. So coming back to the questions, I will perhaps speak a little bit more taking into account our context of Intellias, because this year we entered the market, and I believe based on our experience, I can answer this question in the best way. So talking about the market at Intellias, we see Portugal as a really well-developed place for IT with over 100,000 of qualified IT specialists. And we're here for 6 months, and our experience is absolutely positive. We can see that Portuguese colleagues are really strong professionals, highly motivated, and what is perhaps the most important to us is they are eager to make a difference at global scale together with Intellias. So our plans in Portugal is to build a full-scale delivery center with actually hundreds of employees in the next several years that would work both on the global projects together with colleagues working for Intellias in the other locations, but as well to have quite a big portfolio of dedicated customers and projects that we serve from Portugal, and actually to become an R&D hub for many clients of Intellias. We see that Portugal is especially strong in the embedded software engineering and in the software-enabled vehicles, which is also one of the focus domains for Intellias. And based on that, we are going to have two focuses in the country. So the first one is obviously going to be embedded and automotive software engineering, and the second one is like a general digital services, including the web application development, different kind of the mobile applications, enterprise systems, cloud engineering, as well as platform integration. What Intellias in our turn can actually bring to Portugal. So together with the team, we see for ourselves kind of the mini mission here in Portugal to become a better place to work for IT engineers in Portugal. And we bring here our vision, our global vision that consists of 4 pillars that continue to make sense also here in Portugal. That's being a large and global player with the projects that make a difference at global scale. That's having software engineering as a part of our DNA. Being a reliable partner to clients, and also number 4, which is very important to us, being a humane company, which means we take real care about our employees in all the different contexts. And yeah, Portugal is no exception to this vision. It's going to get access to all of our expertise with over 3,000 colleagues working at Intellias globally through our centers of excellence. We're going to serve from Portugal our beloved customers, all the different kinds of Fortune 500 companies, really big global enterprises, but at the same time, the other kind of the customers like emerging digital innovators and startups, where we work on the cutting edge challenges using the newest technology in all geographies, of course. And what we also bring together with us is our employee value proposition that is award-winning, recognized by Forbes, Ernst & Young, and a number of other companies with number of innovative concepts that we offer to our employees, like a self-service portal where employees can proactively manage their career and their work at Intellias, like our professional development ecosystem called Growth Mindset, which helps colleagues to professionally grow really fast, the best place of work, and a number of the values that we have historically developed at Intellias. So one other thing perhaps to mention is that we heard from many of our colleagues that over time, Portugal has been considered by some of the big outsourcing players as being a cost center and being very much focused on the cost saving as well as maintenance projects. And what I want to say is that Intellias is going to do exactly opposite here in Portugal. It's to bring innovative projects that we have in our portfolio, and to involve much more of senior engineers that would get really well-deserved technology challenges, and for whom we're going to create an environment for their contribution. So that's more or less it, I believe, on the first question from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrei. Thank you so much for your detailed answer. And really, when we are talking about Portugal from the Ukrainian perspective, first of all, we have this perception that in Portugal we only talking and developing blockchain, crypto, and startups, but when we are plunging in, we understand that we have so many huge opportunities here. And I also should say that really all our companies under the war circumstances, they just go globally. And I understand, and we see that all our companies now have this global scale. And I should say that we are transforming into global companies with Ukrainian soul. And here we see that we have a very similar mindset with our Portuguese colleague, as you said, that we could have this synergy of tech talents, and we could really make this special joint products. And it would be very interesting to hear Luis and his perception. What perspectives of our cooperation? What are most interesting points of touch between Ukrainian and Portuguese tech sectors?
First of all, it was a pleasure to hear my two colleagues speaking in the first place. I want to add just a little bit, just one thing. Even though Portuguese people are doing an effort to receive Ukrainian people and Ukrainian companies, we are not doing a favor. It's our duty as people from a global world that want to make a better world. And I truly believe that Portuguese people stand out in this perspective because we always did in a historical way. And I don't want to speak as a generic way as for all the Portuguese population, but I do believe that is something that we feel as a population, as a people, that we have to help the others as we would like to be helped in this situation. So thank you for recognizing this, but we feel, and I feel personally, that it's our duty to do as much as we can in this situation. Okay. Secondly, I feel that it's kind of weird, me being as a president of Portugal, feeling that the external companies see Portugal as hub only for cryptos or fintech or blockchain, mostly because if you see Portugal companies, they don't, the core business of the companies, they are not blockchain or cryptos. Some of them are, it's true, but we have casino games like Farmag, the company that I work for. We have the other companies that work for bets, sports. We have companies that work for such a huge and diverse portfolio of core business. So I also want to say that in Portugal, we have a huge, diverse portfolio of startups, and if anyone want to invest and to develop their startup in any of core business that they want to, this is a good place to be, because we have the skills, we have the human resources, and we also have the mindset that if we don't know, we will look the ways to know and to develop. Talking about this, the ways that we can create synergies with Ukraine. It's very curious, that question, because from April that we've been with Intellius, that we have here one person representing, we have contacting companies from Ukraine. We have been trying to connect and to be more together with companies from Ukraine. We have been actually, myself, I created an NGO actually to help with some, also with some operations in Ukraine. So I think we will be trying to, as a population, not only in the tech scene, as a population, we will be trying to understand how we can manage and how we can contribute more and do synergies with Ukraine. In tech scene, I understand, or we understand, that the better thing that we can do right now is to, first of all, understand what are the human resources that we can help and we can bring to the Ukraine tech scene. What are the investors that you are looking for? What are the facilities as well? For example, in Porto, in the past we had the lack of facilities to receive more companies, and we have now more and more facilities to receive more companies, especially the ones that come from abroad, and especially the ones that are coming from Ukraine right now. We have in the city hall one of the offices that's called Invest Porto, that is taking care of this kind of matters in a very particular and a very personalized area. So I think that we've been trying to also to understand and to create these synergies in a way that in the past was impossible. and more quickly and easier than it was in the past. One thing that I can say is that Portugal, and I have to say Porto, we have good universities, okay? So the human resources are top notch. This is one thing. And also another thing is that people, and I travel a lot, so I work in human resources, so I tend to hire people internationally. I always tend to really think that Portuguese people have one thing that differentiates them from the rest, from the rest of the people. That is the loyalty that they put in the projects that I work with. So this is, besides being a country that is countryside, that is very green, and the food is great, and also the wine. The people here, I don't believe that is what makes the country stand out. Not only because they receive very well the other people that come here, but also because they are very committed to the people that are in the projects, and also to the projects that I work with. And that, I think, nowadays is very hard to find in Europe, or even in the world that we're living in.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're absolutely right that, as Ola said, that our Ukrainian spirit and our Ukrainian expertise is that we are hardworking, we are creative, and we always trying to propose more, and to predict what one's client will already propose him more. So it's really our strong feature here. And also I would like to mention that we have these kind of processes all around the Europe. Then we have a big tech communities, for example, in Poland, in Germany, in Portugal. We see this interaction between two techs, and we see how this synergy could work together, so like mutually reinforce each other. And here I see that we could also could think about switchers that could be not only switching within company, but switchers that switch between companies, Ukrainian and Portuguese, and as well, for example, Ukrainian and Poland. So we also have these processes. And actually, I have want to come to the next question. It's regarding the recipe of success in Portugal and your life hacks for beginners. What should be taken into account while company entering the Portugal market? And it would be very interesting to listen to Luis from the perspective of a Portuguese guy, and it would be very interesting our speakers to share their perception, how they was for them.
I will be the bad cop and they will be the good cop, right? Because they can only say good things here, right? No, I'm joking. No, it depends if it's, right now it doesn't depend. I would say that it depends if it's Lisbon or in Porto, but I guess nowadays it doesn't depend anymore, because Lisbon is very competitive regarding not only the facilities where you put your company in, the perks that you give, and the traction and the retention of the talents, but nowadays Porto is very competitive as well. You see, for example, the Porto Hub companies, the rows of companies that we have. Like 2 years ago, we were like 20 companies. Right now we are 35. We are still growing, and we don't have still the majority of the companies that are in Porto. So there are a lot of companies in Porto right now, and there are also a lot of companies coming still. That means that it's a very competitive ecosystem for the talent, for the traction, for the retention, and that means also if that the boards of the companies, administrators, don't have this kind of mindset, that it will be hard to hire, and will be hard to retain, and will be hard to manage the people. So the operation will be also hard. And I say that because I hear sometimes a lot of people from the boards of the companies complaining that recruiters and the people that take care of the HR sometimes take a lot of time to recruit people. But the truth is, it's very crowded right now, the ecosystem. Not only because the companies are really, there are a lot of companies, but also because the pandemic or the post-pandemic brought a lot of challenges with the work from home and the remote work. So there are a lot of people here that are working from abroad. At Portugal, for example, we are opening the first post-graduation for software testers in order to facilitate and to create more people to work in this kind of ecosystem. It will be the first post-graduation of this matter in Portugal. So we are aware that this is a challenge, okay? And we are trying to create tools and mechanisms for the companies to have more talents in the pool. Otherwise, it will be also very challenging for the companies to get and to scale not only the people, but also the business. So I would say that this kind of mindset, this kind of challenges, companies have to be aware. Also, from other talks that I have, in Portugal, we tend to give some value to things that probably in other countries people don't give. By that, we mean that we give a lot of value to having time to talk with some colleagues, to go to have some free time with them, to have activities with them, and the culture of the companies have to be aware of that. Mostly because we pass a lot of time at work, so we like to create bonds and engage with people at work. So it's like something we have to manage, because we also want people also want to work from home most of the time, but they also want to have some time to engage with people. And it seems a paradox, but it's also a challenge that most of the companies that are coming out to Portugal have to face it, because even though we will say that we will prefer, most of us, to work from home, we will also like to engage with people from work and not to be alone most of the time. So I bring this kind of challenges because in the beginning it seems that they are very, very easy to solve, right? Mostly with the good attraction packages and good work from home policies. But in reality, as I was saying before, people here really stand out. So from my perspective, they deserve also that we look at them and we personalize this kind of vision in terms of organizational behavior that we couldn't see in other places, that here we have to look at. I hope I was clear enough.
Yes, yes, Luis. Actually, while I listen, you understand that we really have similar mindset in many things. Because first of all, and
thank God I'm not alone.
First of all, for all our companies, IT professionals and team is the first, and we have this principle: people go first. And it was our strength side, and it was our secret. Why we're still working, delivering, and going globally. That is because the team is the first, the team safe. And I should say that under these circumstances we have in Ukraine, as my colleague said, everything is a risk. So we are transforming own challenges into opportunities. So then you're talking about a very concurrent ecosystem here, I should say, and I'm sure that our companies could face these challenges, and it would be very interesting to hear their perception of the situation and how they face these challenges that they have here in Portugal. at the first time then they start in their activities here. Ola, maybe you could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to thinking how we best address your question, and I guess the first advice and life hack would be know what you choose, and prepare yourself as much as possible to what's going to happen, because they're going to be a transition period for anyone who enters new community. You cannot avoid this stage, unfortunately, and the more open you set yourself for this process and for this period, the more calm and successful is going to be for you as and for you as a person, as a company, as a team, because storming is a classical thing, right? Storming, norming, then at some point performing. So we need to make sure that we keep this in mind. It was a good, actually, we were pretty much surprised by the speed of settling things here. And everything was and is digitalized, and some of our teammates got their necessary documents in days. And it's a nightmare for me to think how things are happening in Germany, where people were mobilized and could not leave to a business trip because they don't know when they will be asked out to be present in the office to present physical papers for something for another iteration. And here I was I've done so many business trips during summer, and this autumn I was even in Singapore. It's it's for us, it's important to get going and to be to have this opportunity to travel, and the documents that we got here are allowing us to do so, and we can still visit our customers. It's important for our business. Also, what I wanted to say that
can I just say that from a Portuguese perspective, it's so nice to hear that, because we are so used to think that sometimes we have not the perception to look from the things from outside. So it's very nice to hear that perception, because most of the time we are always complaining about the time that sometimes that things takes to be done here. So usually people tend to complain from things that they were not supposed to complain. So it's very nice to hear that feedback, because we usually think that things here take so much time, and then we do go to another place and things tend to take even more time. So it's very cool to hear that feedback. Thank you so much, Sol.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I also wanted to say that as a part of this onboarding process, being mentally prepared for the change, a good advice would be to unlearn a little bit of being Ukrainian. And it might sound funny, but I will put more context on that. So it is warm here in Portugal. It's sunny, it's around 300 sunny days over the year. And overall, people are very positive. And in Ukraine, it is different. We have cold winters. We are more reserved, and especially software engineers who are more introverts and staying to themselves. So what we were doing is being open to explore the culture and mindsets and how people behave here, and what everyone is doing that we are not doing. And it was important, and I think it's important for settling and feeling not I'm spending my time because it's temporary, but rather how I'm most productive here, and how my presence can be of value to other people. And when they see that you are open to collaboration and understand their feelings and ways of living, it creates more opportunity. And in the beginning, when we moved our team here, we started doing joint events, and it was important for us to not just show our experience and invite our speakers to small events, to tech talks. It was important that both representatives of Portuguese companies join, as well as our specialists. And on one stage, you could see both sides being top professionals, still like even the style of giving presentations is different. It was good for us to have a look at live environment and see that energy and learn a bit how to be more open and shining. It is so cool. So definitely an advice from us, first of all, to push yourself being engaged in local events, talking to local people, not be sticking to just Ukrainians and Ukrainian companies and forming this opposition and like, we are here, but there are a lot of opportunities to meet with our people from Ukraine, and it's easier, but you need to really do the opposite and break this a little bit further. Another advice from us, and we found it as a nice experience. We set our office in a co-working space, and like it was quick. It wasn't like a large amount of time to set it, but what was important for us is to be in the environment where representatives of other companies, of other domains are here, and we are surrounded by like in Cascais, in our office, we have Portuguese startups, we have not even tech startups. For example, our neighbors are Brazilians, they doing healthy like green food, and we have Ukrainian startups as well. So it's all multinational, and we could even get advice on local things like which area is the best to leave, like how do you handle this and this and this, because people know and they are open to share experience. So for us, like as a little bit similar advice from what I already mentioned, but make this effort to put yourself inside local environment to learn, and that's gonna boost and like speed up your onboarding process and reaching further to the feeling of comfort here and understanding like how you bring further value.
Thank you, Ola. Yes, absolutely. Integration is a key. And I guess then we understand each other and understand local environment. It's like 50% of success. And it would be very interesting, Andriy, to hear how it was for you.
Thank you very much, Luis and Olga. Very interesting to hear your opinion about the topic, as well as to know about your experience. So let us share what is the experience that we had at Intellias. So first of all, as I mentioned already, all the way the experience has been really positive for us. As of the time being, we have approximately 40 colleagues already in Portugal, and our presence is growing. In our team, we have Ukrainians that have been relocated to Portugal this year as well. We have many Portuguese colleagues and also expats from the other locations that work with us, including a number of colleagues coming from Brazil. So one of the things that I could share is our experience, and this is a little bit perhaps opposite to what Olga shared, trying to integrate into the local environment. We at Intellias believe as a global company, we strongly need to have local leadership. And that has been the first step for us actually back in spring this year, April and May. First thing we've done is we found a local leader, country head for Intellias, who has then built a setup with the local functional leaders on the different areas for the company, and together with us actually guided us to define a strategy and then to start this execute the strategy on behalf of Intellias. So our leader is João Belfo, who has a lot of experience in Portugal in a number of the companies, and we are happy to have him part of our team together with a really strong colleagues that work together with João and manage our Portuguese location. So this experience and this decision has been really good for us as we see it now after half a year of experience. So regarding our future plans, right, we believe that it's not important after COVID where people actually sit, and we welcome people from everywhere in Portugal, not only Porto or Lisbon, but at the same time, we believe there have to be some hubs where people are able to come to meet each other, to have workshops, as well as to be able to meet our customers who are coming to Portugal. And for this purpose, we're opening 2 offices. Actually, one is launching somewhere in the next days in Porto. And the office in Lisbon is currently in progress, and we're about to sign an agreement and start to prepare for launching. But we find it really important to have them more, not for people actually to come for everyday work, but as a helps to be able to meet from time to time. And the other thing, so Luis, you have been talking a lot about Portugal being a hot talent market, and I fully agree with you. But the beauty of Portugal, from our point of view, is not only that Portugal has a great talent as of today, but Portugal is really having a lot of potential to grow the talent base over time, because the country is attractive for people to come from outside and to join the community. And this is something that we want to leverage as Intellias. And that's why perhaps only half of our growth is connected to hiring in Portugal, but the other part is very much connected to relocation capability. And we're going to bring to Portugal talent from all over the world. And with that, actually use Portugal as being a really attractive place to help us to grow here. What we struggled a little bit is actually the office spaces, and the market for the offices, I could say, as hot as the talent market. It was a little bit easy in Porto, but in Lisbon, we really spent a lot of the time before we're able to find a good place for us. But eventually we have been able to do it. I don't know if I have a recipe for this, just to be a bit more persistent about this, and eventually we were able to do it. Then another challenge we had was more like an internal one. We had, as we have been small in Portugal, right? We had to convince our internal stakeholders to bring more and more business and projects to Portugal, and not to those locations where Intellias was more developed over the time. So how we overcame this is, like with the startups, we found the early adopters at Intellias who really fell in love with Portugal, and we're happy to support the growth despite of the number of challenges like long hiring time. And that helped us to build first several dozens of talent in Portugal and to bring the first projects. So now it's going much better. We found a way to work with the market. We found that it's a good approach in Portugal due to a long notice period time to actually hire people up front and then allocate them to specific projects and opportunities we have in the company. So overall, coming back to general conclusions, it really runs very, very well for us, and Intellias is going to grow here pretty much.
Thank you so much, Andrei. You know, I guess after COVID times and regarding our approach of our IT sector of diversified teams, we have all the chances to face this new reality when we could have this hybrid format of work and office. And I guess that we also have here very interesting expertise that we could share with our Portuguese colleague, or we could think about something joint here. And our time is, we are running out of time already. So I thank you for for our insightful conversation. I hope that it will be very interesting to all our listeners and viewers and companies and partners who are joining us, and after we have posted the recording of this session. And to sum up, I should say that we have so many areas to unify our expertise and to move together. We see that we have very different approaches, but we have similar mindset. That is the main ground for us to grow together globally. And the main life hack from our speakers is integration. That is the key. And I want also to use this opportunity to answer the question that we received every day: how we can help to Ukrainians. First of all, remain our partners. And remember that now all our companies go globally. So we are global companies with Ukrainian spirit and Ukrainian roots. Keep contract, believe in us, and launch with us new joint projects. Advocate for Ukraine. Blue and yellow are the colors of our bravery, freedom, and prosperity. And this is our main feature of all Ukrainians, developers, and Ukrainian companies. And finally, stand with Ukraine. We are stronger together. Thank you so much, and meet you soon.
Thank you